Hello, and welcome to another live coaching. I am not at home. It's a holiday weekend here, and so we spent the holiday on the other side of the island. So if my connection is bad, then I totally blame this location for that. Hopefully the connection is fine. Hopefully you can hear me. My setup isn't what I normally have. So you just have to bear with me if it's not working, but hopefully it is. We're gonna get the Facebook group loaded up in a second here. 1 second. There we go. All right. Here we go. All right. What else is going on? If you want to join a masterclass next year, we're doing some in-person masterclasses. There's some cool things happening with the masterclass program. Let me pull up the website. So you just go to windsurfingmasterclass.com. And if you're interested in joining a masterclass, you can go to the masterclasses tab and you can apply for a spot. So at the moment, there's one interest form, and this will help me shape the masterclasses for next year. And those masterclasses are already starting to fill up. They're already starting to get shaped up. So, for example, Morocco is happening, and it's kind of full. So the way that I do this is I do one round of acceptances, and that first round, it's the easiest round to get accepted. And then I save a few spots, and then those spots will be given away in subsequent acceptance rounds, and then it's more competitive. So the earlier you are, the easier it is to get in. So in the beginning, so like for example, for Morocco now, I think we had 9 or 10 people apply, and I think 8 got acceptances, which is a pretty high acceptance rate, almost 100%. But as we go on, there's a few spots left, and there are already, I think, like 8 or 10 more people that have applied. And there's only those few spots, right? And I'm going to wait for more people to apply before I do my next round of acceptances. So it gets more competitive. So if you're interested in some of these other places, it's definitely better to apply early in terms of making sure that you get a spot. Denmark, the first round of acceptances already went out. So if you applied for Denmark, check your email, because sometimes my emails end up in your spam folder. I don't know why that is. So check your email if you applied for Denmark. And if you're like, oh, well, I didn't even see a Denmark application, that's because the people that filled out this survey got the first dibs at the Denmark application, because they're helping me plan my year. And so they get extra special timing. So by filling out this form, they get priority, and that could be you. So there's a few other master classes that could happen. So if you're interested in a masterclass next year, you want priority for getting accepted, fill out this form. I'm trying to make Cape Town happen. So if you put Cape Town on this, I reached out to you. Let me know. Respond to me. I'm trying to get the dates worked out. And so the original dates that I was thinking was like the 10th to the 17th of January. It seems like from the people that have responded to me that the end of January is better for them. It's a little bit harder for me, but not impossible. So maybe end of January. If you are interested in doing a Cape Town Masterclass, definitely fill out the survey so that we can start a dialogue. We can figure out dates together. Otherwise, if you own a business, there's some pretty cool things that we're doing with Masterclass, Windsurfing Masterclass, to support businesses. So we can do marketing through Windsurfing, which is a very powerful tool. And then it also allows you to come on some of the masterclasses as a business expense. So if you own a business, reach out to me and you're interested in marketing, combining, being able to run some of your masterclass through your business, reach out. Anyway, let's get to the Facebook group. We got Jorg, hand feels better, awesome. We got Axel, salam alaikum in Morocco, 3 sessions, nice, big swell. Matt is hoping for a session tomorrow. We got Christoph and Ragnar saying no sailing. All right, so let's get into the group. So let's do new posts. So Adam says he's got 2 wakeboards and he wants to know which is better in which type of conditions. So he has an 81 Goya pyramid and a 94 Power 4. It's normally 2 to 5 foot shore break, pretty much 16 to 30, and he only pulls out the 81 when it's like 20 or more. And normally he's sailing offshore in the chaotic chop, and the 81 wants to catapult him. So it doesn't seem as stable and comfortable. So should he stick to the 94? I think so. I think it sounds like the 94 is your go-to board for the open seas. I don't see an advantage to the smaller board out there. What is your weight? All right. We got Tad Sink, fall winter season finally come around here in the United States in the Carolinas. Nice. Time for wins. I love looking at everyone's wins. So let's look at all of these, all comments. So we've got Suna. I love Suna has this little competition with himself. So when I talk about setting goals, we often think about goals in terms of like learning the forward loop. But goals can be such a broader topic. And one of Suna's goals is to windsurf every month of the year. And that gets challenging around this time because he lives in Denmark and it's cold and it's dark. And so it forces him to travel, really make it work. And so despite a lack of wind and light, he managed to get a couple sessions in November. And so, awesome. All right, Tad Sink is Adam. Awesome. So Adam, I just answered your question about the board. So I think that the 94 sounds like it's doing what you needed to do, and there's no reason to go with the smaller board. But I'm curious how much you weigh. Okay, so you're 165 pounds. So that's about 78 kilos roughly. 94 is pretty big, but I would go based on the comfort level. And so if you're on the 94 and it feels really comfortable, stay on the 94. That's like a good sign. In terms of wave riding, the 81, because it's so much closer to your weight, is going to be a lot more maneuverable. And so if you're really riding swell with it, I would say that the 81 is the go-to. And if you're getting catapulted, there's maybe something we can change in the settings that will help with that. So if you want help with the tuning, post a photo of the board showing where you have your straps. So looking down from the top so we can see the straps and the mast base, and then a photo from the side so we can see the fins relative to the back strap. And that will give us a good idea of how you're setting it up. And then if you want to include the sail in there too, because the sail tuning can also affect that feeling, right? Maybe we can help you get it tuned up a little bit better. But generally, I think the harder core wave board wants harder core wave conditions. And so it's not made for those open sea, choppy, swelly waters. Whereas the 94, which is more of like a power board, it's made more for that kind of free ride, free flow windsurfing. So it is not surprising to me that it feels better in those kinds of conditions. But if you are getting cleaner waves, the 81 will be a better board, especially considering your weight. So we want to make sure that's tuned up in a way that you are comfortable. All right. Hans had some good sessions in. Nice. Adam found a new spot to sail in the Intracoastal Waterway. Cool. Love it. Backwind jibes. Anonymous found a coach who is now professional I don't know what that means. Let's ask. Are you going to compete on the Wave Tour in 2026? Awesome. Thomas is working on making lighter and lighter boards, which is cool. Oh, there's not a picture? He's posting pictures. We're in a WhatsApp group together, and he's always posting pictures. So I thought there was going to be a picture. The boards look great. The boards look great. And we got, I think, one more comment in here that I missed. Let's see. Ragnar booked his trip to Morocco. Awesome. Yep, Ragnar is on the Morocco Masterclass. Like I said, if you're interested in joining a Masterclass, make sure you go to windsurfingmasterclass.com. Go to the top to the Masterclass section here, and then apply for a spot, and then fill out this form. Again, if you are interested, this is the way to go because it helps define my year. The most important courses for me to figure out, which are the ones that I've emailed you about, are Morocco, Denmark, and Cape Town, because these are the ones I have to travel around. The other ones, I mean, obviously I have to travel for them, but these are big trips. Like I have to go from Maui to Europe, and then the Denmark one is important for me to plan now because that's when I come back from Europe to Hawaii. So yeah, these three are super key. So it's not a random reason that I'm trying to get these organized first. Again, check your email. If you applied for Denmark, I wrote you. All right. Next up. So here's some session footage from me. This is from Hokipa. This session, I was focusing a lot on trying to speed from the top into my next move. And so you can see I'm doing a lot of like pumping and very active work to try to keep that speed going from one maneuver to the next. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with the progress there with the speed. I really like this first off the lip because it's a pretty big section coming up into the curly bit and coming out with so much speed, just blowing out of it, going right into the next thing. So I was pretty happy with that. And this too, not stopping. I don't want to stop in my wave rides. And so we got a question from Peter about what is the way to transfer or create speed in the top turn. And it's a lot about, and so if you're getting everything really in the right place, then the speed carries, right? So you're hitting that lip, it's transferring power into the board and then landing on this open part of the wave. But it's also being confident on the exit. So if you're confident on the exit and you're not spending a lot of time on the recovery, then you're gonna keep your speed or generate more speed. So like for example, on a landing like this, like if I'm just trying to like land it, then I'm gonna be really locked up. But instead, as you can see, I'm gonna unfreeze this in a second. I'm really throwing everything around to try to get some speed, right? So I'm not focusing so much on landing it so much as trying to push myself out of it. So the more confidence you have, the faster you come out of it. So if you feel like you're not going to make it, then you're tight and you're trying to like save it, and that's not going to lead to more speed coming out of the move. But again, it's also a lot about placement and timing. This is a good example of the high five. As you can see, I've got my board almost upside down because that's the angle it needs to be to get that lip power, boom, to transfer into the board to give the energy from the wave into the board. Yeah. All right. Let's keep looking. So the two main things are timing, placement, and confidence. All right. So you can now gift Windsurfing Masterclass courses. And so if you go through the checkout process and you put this as a gift down here, then you can give it. This was a request on the last live stream, and now you can do that. And just like that, we're caught up. I have some recommendations from some of you guys, from Matt, about adding some different theme topics to the Facebook group and to the live coaching. I'm also curious about moving the community over to its own website. I wonder, that's something, maybe I'll do a poll in the Facebook group. I like the Facebook group because it's so easy for people to find it, but there's also advantages if we have our own community platform. So that's something we have to weigh out. But in terms of themes, there's some fun ones like what move you're working on, how you're storing your gear, training, what your transport situation looks like. So look out for that. I'm going to post it in the Facebook group. So the idea is that the week we'll do some theme weeks. Yeah, right. So one week we'll just talk about storage. We can compare vans and garages and trucks and all of that, trailers. All right. With that, I am going to sign off. If you get on the water this week, remember to get some footage. Even if it's someone with a phone, they can film you from the beach. Just get a little bit of footage, post it in the group, post your questions, photos, frustrations, successes, wins, all of the above. We all want to see it, and I read everything that's posted. All right, I will see you next week, Sunday. Take care. Have a good one.